What's up, everybody? It's Simone! Laying the rant down! Apologies as doing the rant. I started having some issues with the phone. Something was looking funky. I had to basically it shut down on me. It was like the phone was getting a little bit too hot. Too hot to handle. So we are back to finish off this Laying the Rant Down on Forbidden Door weekend. Let's get into the last part of these news, which is WWE news. And then we're going to roll right to the end where we're going to take a look at Forbidden Door predictions for tomorrow's pay-per-view. So let's get into the news of WWE, particularly with NXT. NXT in one of their best ratings since around 2020, 2021, with the inclusion of Seth Rollins putting his World Heavyweight Championship on the line against Braun Breaker this past Tuesday on USA. Saw really excellent numbers, 773,000 viewers total. That was the best number rating-wise in many years for NXT since they've been on USA. Particularly the Rollins-Braun Breaker match really peaked well at the end of the show, getting upwards of 886,000 viewers to, even in the overrun, the last parts of that match, 950,000. So that is almost 1 million viewers for this match alone. Very impressive. Because of that, WWE has been rumored to probably implement more main roster talent into NXT programming on the weekly. The latest iteration of that appears to be Ronda Rousey and or perhaps even the NXT World Women's Tag Team Championship with Shayna Baszler being defended on an NXT show. We just saw last night on SmackDown that the NXT tag titles were actually merged and unified with the WWE Women's Tag Championships. Now Rousey and Baszler are not only the Women's Tag Champs, but the NXT Tag Champs, and because of that, that leads to a lot of rumors that we're going to be seeing a lot of them on NXT television. I guess we'll see what happens, but I don't mind the idea of that. Some main roster people coming in the fold I think have been a positive to NXT, such as Mustafa Ali. We saw Humberto Carrillo and some others that have come through. That Dana Brooke, for example, I think haven't really been too much of a hit with NXT from a rating standpoint or from the crowd standpoint. The crowd actually kind of shit all over Dana Brooke this past week on NXT. Baron Corbin, I don't think has really benefited away from being in NXT. I don't think the NXT roster has really benefited greatly from him being there. But we'll see how things are. He's going to have a match with Carmelo Hayes on Tuesday. We'll see what that does. But definitely Seth Rollins was a moving and shaking maker in the ratings. And I think if Rousey would come on, probably she may put a dent in the ratings as well on a positive level. One more WWE bit of news. It came from the Wrestling Observer this past week. Carlito has officially, unofficially I should say, signed with WWE. He's signed, but this has been public about it. He is coming back. We had just seen him not too long ago in Puerto Rico at Backlash. They did sign him to a contract now. He will debut on SmackDown on July 7th from Madison Square Garden. So be on the lookout for that. We'll see if they announce that ahead of time or if they'll be kind of trying to put it out there in a surprise, so to speak, for Carlito returning to WWE. All right, let's get into Forbidden Door predictions coming up tomorrow night. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said in the outset of the rant, I will be watching this pay-per-view from a movie theater. I've done this, I think, 2 or 3 times before. I did it with Revolution one year. Actually, I think Revolution's both. 2021 and 22. I went to a movie theater. I think I also went to a movie theater for Full Gear. Maybe. I don't quote me on that one. But I've at least been there twice, maybe 3 times. It's been a great experience each time. I'm really looking forward to it. At a AMC theater up in the Twin Cities, I will be checking out the pay-per-view. And we got a motherfucking load of matches just on Collision, they announced 3 more matches for the pre-show. That puts 4 matches total for the pre-show, basically meaning this show will start at 7 p.m. Eastern right away as the pre-show starts. We're going to be kicking it to matches pretty quickly once that pre-show kicks off. These are the pre-show matches. Let's get some predictions on these real quick. The Owen Hart Women's Tournament continues. We've seen Sky Blue and we've seen Willow Nightingale already advance. Now we're on to match 3 of 4 in this tournament. Athena from Ring of Honor, the women's champion, just had a great match with Kiera Hogan last week in Chicago that dropped on Ring of Honor this past week. And for more on that, if you haven't checked out Versus, please do so. We talk about Ring of Honor this week in whole. Anyway, Athena is going to face Billy Starks on this pre-show pay-per-view. I was a bit surprised to see them bring in Billy. I like it, but this is an interesting position for the 18-year-old. I don't think she's going to go over Athena. I think it's a virtual lock. Athena will win. Move on to the second round to take on Willow Nightingale. Those two had a great match in Ring of Honor a while back, so definitely look forward to that. El Phantasmo ELP against Stu Grayson. I'm going to go ELP on that one. Should be a good match. LIJ is going to work against United Empire. This is a bit of a confusing thing. These are both New Japan roster members basically on both sides, and they're having a match. Okay, I don't get it. Couldn't we had LIJ and United Empire in a separate match against AEW talent, even if it meant trying to fit 5 pre-show matches on? I don't know. Could we have maybe done something different with another match to take one out? I don't know. This is just kind of a weird deal, but I will go LIJ on this one. It's Romo, Takagi, and Bushi against TJP, Jeff Cobb, and Kyle Fletcher. Then the 4th match on the pre-show, the Mogul Embassy of Swerve Strickland and the Gates of Agony will take on, this is a weird match too, Rocky Romero, Trent, and El Desperado. Okay. Weird stuff. Don't know what to say about this match. I'll go Mogul Embassy on this one. I'll say Swerve gets the win over Trent or Romero. I don't think that Desperado's going to have much of a play in this match other than maybe exchanges with Swerve Strickland. Maybe they'll do a match with Desperado and Strickland coming out of Forbidden Door. I don't know if some of these New Japan talent may stay till even Wednesday on Dynamite or something like that. You never know. Now, let's get into the main card. We had 4 matches on the pre-show. I believe we have 10 matches. Perhaps, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 matches on the main card. 15 matches on this show. Woo-wee, boy. And the show is going to kick off with an AEW World Title match between MJF and Hiroshi Tanahashi. I'm going to go MJF for the win on this one. Maybe via getting that ring shot on Tanahashi, cheating the win for sure, probably here. We'll see how it goes. Could be a major styles clash in this match. Time will tell. Tanahashi looked all right there against Swerve Strickland. The question remains, though, can MJF work a style with Tanahashi that's going to lead to a successful match? Outcome here, it'll be a pretty solid match. I guess time will tell. CM Punk in the Owen Hart Tournament opening round. I'm going to pick over Satoshi Kojima in match 2. I just think honestly, I think Punk's going to win the whole Owen Hart Cup this year. Frankly, the way the matchups look, we're probably going to see Punk and Samoa Joe in the second round. On the other side, we're probably going to see Hobbs, Ricky Starks in the second round. I would imagine Hobbs will probably advance to take on Punk in the final because from what I understand, Hobbs and Punk get along pretty well. So I would think Punk would maybe want to make him look good in the finals. Hey, who knows? Maybe Hobbs will even go over Punk. That would be a bit of a shock. But whatever the case, CM Punk over Kojima at Forbidden Door. I am looking forward to this match, no doubt. Adam Cole, Tom Filthy Lawler. I'm going to go Adam Cole for the win on this one. I'm guessing it will be early on the card. I put it right after the Punk and MJF match this year. I also put low on the card because there's so much loaded stuff at the back end of this card. I already put the IWGP World title match on match 4 on the pay-per-view. Sonata and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I'm going to go Sonata with this one. I'm going to say something with Hook and Jack Perry go astray. Maybe Hook accidentally cost Perry the match against Sonata. And I think a heel turn may even happen on the show, or maybe Dynamite this week or later on in AEW TV land. We'll see where they go with it. But I think Sonata's definitely going over here. There is no fucking way they're going to give the New Japan title to Jack Perry. No way in hell. I'm going to say the 10-man tag is probably going to be next on the card. This should be really hot. And I am going to pick the team of Moxley, Claudio Yuta, Shota Umino, and Konosuke Takeshita over the Young Bucks, Adam Page, Eddie Kingston, and Tomohiro Ishii. I think there's going to be something going on with Kingston getting into it with maybe the Bucks or Page. He's got heat with Claudio. There's something with Kingston and Moxley still too. I think Ishii will probably take the fall here. Ishii and Moxley getting into it again, I'm all for. I am really looking forward to this match. This 10-man tag, which should be the closest thing to a brawl we're going to see on this card. Next up, I think, is going to be the AEW Women's Championship between Toni Storm and the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, Willow Nightingale. I think Nightingale can probably handle a loss here via some nefarious means of the Outcast. Toni Storm retains. I think this feud may roll back later because I have a feeling Willow Nightingale may possibly win the entire One Heart Tournament. Time will tell. International Championship 4-way. We got 3 champions out of the 4 in this match. Orange Cassidy, Shibata, who's the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, Zack Sabre Jr., who's the New Japan Television Champion. We also got Daniel Garcia in the match. I think Cassidy will probably win over Garcia in this one, but if it's anything like the match from Dynamite, the tag match with these 4 guys, I think it'll be pretty damn good. I'm going to put the 6-man high on this card. They just announced it on Collision. Tetsuya Naito joining Sting and Darby Allin in there against Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki. On paper, this looks all kinds of fun. I think they're going to keep advancing the Sting feud with Jericho. I think there's going to be definitely a storyline in here where Guevara is going to be at odds with Jericho. Maybe gets into it a little bit with Jericho. Suzuki gets in the way that maybe costs the team the match. Sting, Darby, and Naito go over. What a dream team that is. It's just, this whole pay-per-view is almost like a fever dream when you think about it. Some of these matchups are just unbelievable in the best way possible. And then speaking of best way possible, the top 2 matches on this card are hard to beat on any pay-per-view so far this year on paper. Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, U.S. title. I'm going to go Ospreay in this one. I think there's going to be a rubber match at All In London. Omega has already said on social media if he beats Ospreay, he doesn't find a need to go back to Japan. So I think that gives credence to the fact that Ospreay is going to win the second match between them. Then that leads to that rubber match in London in front of a jam-packed All In crowd. Ooh, that's going to be something. London, Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega. We'll see if they go there, but I think Ospreay's going over here. And then the main event, it is official. This will be the last match on the card. Bryan Danielson, Kazuchika Okada. First time ever, Ultimate Dream match. I'm going to go Okada on this one, but I am intrigued to see where the follow-up goes from here. I think it's inevitable the Bullet Club, Combat Club are going to be involved in some way here. Maybe Okada will tease something with Moxley for a later time. I don't know. Time will tell. We'll see where they go, but I think Okada's going to go over Danielson in the main event for sure. And that's it for Laying the Rant Down. We had a twofer on Laying the Rant Down this weekend, so kind of unintentionally when the power kind of went kaput on the first part of this rant, but glad I got it off to y'all. Enjoy Forbidden Door tomorrow. Come back here on Monday where I'll talk about it in my Monday Mega Rant. This one will be something on Forbidden Door. So until then, enjoy it. See you Monday! Right here, Wrestling! Join us!